NATO member states should return to Cold War-era defense budgets to spend at least 3% of GDP on security, the Alliance Secretary-General believes. Mark Rutte says that the new target should be reached by 2030 because of the growing threat of Russian aggression. Meanwhile, the Financial Times writes the members of the US President-elect's team told European officials about Donald Trump's demand to increase defense spending on NATO allies to 5% of GDP. The final decision is likely to be made as early as 2025 after discussions, the Greek Prime Minister has suggested.
It will become clear once we interact with the new US president what is the figure that we will agree on within NATO. It will be more than 2%, but let's not put a figure on it because we all have our national considerations and we should not forget that we work within a European framework. We need to look at all the means of how we collectively advance European defense. Kyriakos Mitsotakis, Prime Minister of Greece, from the political publication.
We have to understand the threat is much more wide that we imagine. Okay? It's about our democracy. It is about influencing our public opinions. It's not only about the war in Ukraine on the ground. It won't stop. And we have to be prepared. It's about Russia today or maybe about another tomorrow. We have to understand that peace and security that we've known for years and we've been given for granted is not granted no more.
The aggressor country's neighbors are the most active in urging the security enhancement. The Finnish Defense Ministry's report calls for the modernization of air and naval forces and the integration of North Atlantic Alliance forces. He is convinced that Russia has moved to a more open, unpredictable and long-term confrontation with the West. Therefore, European defense must be reinforced by any means possible, believes the Prime Minister of Finland.
On the security situation in the north, I have stressed over and over again the fact that Finland has 1,340 kilometers long border with Russia, which is an external EU and NATO border. It's longer than the road from Brussels to Rome. Securing that border and responding to challenges such as instrumentalized migration is an existential question for Finland and for other EU members and NATO allies.
The Russian Federation may attack NATO states before 2030, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius believes. Earlier, the Swedish Defense Minister and the Commander-in-Chief of the country's army stated about this threat, according to Newsweek. The Estonian Foreign Intelligence Service also believed that NATO could face, quote-unquote, a massive Soviet-type army in a few years. Bordering the Federation, Estonia and Latvia have signed an agreement with Lithuania to strengthen land borders with Russia and Belarus.
Russia poses a direct threat to Europe's security, but security comprises different elements, and they are different in the east, south, north and west. We see a range of hybrid threats across Europe, including sabotage, cyber attacks, the use of unregistered shadow fleets, GPS jamming and damage to critical infrastructure like cables. Kaja Kallas, EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy from Weil publication.
The Kremlin is already preparing the ground for a possible attack, analysts at Foreign Affairs believe. In their opinion, this is confirmed by the scale of Russia's hybrid aggression in Europe and Moscow's cooperation with North Korea and Iran. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Larusa Petruk, UITV News.